say it on here, that's just what we call it, but it's, this is their project number, it's 39C-5148-01.
She sent it on the 15th, looks like.
15th? I have no from the 17th.
Oh, it's got Richard's approval in there and everything, so do we need to make a motion to?
Right, it will have to be signed by all three of you and attested by the clerk.
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the off-system bridge project for bridge project number 39C. Nobody's not gonna know what this is anyway. 5148-01. So Bergman Bridge is what we call it. So need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I can believe that.
She's got some too.
I'm just cleaning up emails as she talks.
I got things on the phone because Matthew loves being started every morning.
I did send you guys an email, it was kind of late about the request for proposal. I didn't know if you guys are still open to discussing that today. It is kind of long, so I emailed it ahead of time. Well, right, so it's not just a very simple bid process with this, because KDOT doesn't like it if we're going for the lowest bidder and the lowest bidder alone. They have a lot of rules when it comes to that. So basically, if you guys get a chance to look at all 8 pages of this bad boy, and then the 2 different spreadsheets, that's what I would like to send out. I do have one.
This is for which one?
This is for Henderson. And if we want to not stick with the same company every time we do a design, we have to do this every time. So it's kind of a little interview process. They're going to send back their project proposal and keep the actual costing in a separate sealed envelope. So it'll kind of be like a round 1 and a round 2. We'll pick people based on their qualifications and score
It
them
said
that
something
way.
about in there about 40 foot. Is it that long?
So it's about 35 or 36. So that 40 foot,
Going over it, wooden picture.
which I don't think I printed off, that it's a bridge plan. So KDOT has a set of standard low-cost bridge plans. They're already pre-designed that way, and they are single span, so there's no piers in the middle, which helps us with drift and things like that. So it's
But that also probably lowers your load rating too, then, right?
no,
It doesn't?
no, it's steel. So it still has a really high load rating. We don't have to worry about drift, things like that. It's just much more efficient, and the design's already there, so it should save us some money that way. KDOT likes it when we use their plans. They're more likely to, yeah. So that's why that. If you guys want more time to look it over before I send it out.
I don't need it.
You don't need it? Okay, so what I just need then is the dates that I have in here, that I need all of their proposals back by January 21st, and you will open them January 24th at 10 a.m.
That'd be all right, because they're gonna have full time, it's gonna take them 1 or 2 weeks to do this.
Yeah.
Yep. So do we
That may be a little quick, I don't know, is that
a
the
month anyway?
That's a month. And if they need an extension, they can, but this is something that's normal for them to put together because it's a KDOT requirement.
I'm okay with it, what was it?
And then we have to decide no later than February 7th. So that gives us 2 weeks to decide.
And so we probably need a motion for that. I'm not even sure what the motion needs to say.
Just about the dates, you mean?
That we will send these out and open them on this date and time, January 24th at 10 a.m.
Okay, so we're gonna send out proposals for the Henderson Bridge. We need to have
Bridge
a number.
replacement, isn't it?
It's the bridge design, and it's what we're doing, the design and construction
So
engineering.
that front page.
So you go by that?
Yeah, Henderson Bridge replacement.
That's the bridge number, yes.
Okay. So probably I'll have that attached in the motion, that way somebody, if they don't call it the Henderson Bridge, they'll call it something else. Like 100 years from now,
It'd be Q2-21-0 is what it'll be.
So I would entertain a motion for the request for proposal, the RFP for the design, construction, and engineering services on Q.2-21-0 21.0, otherwise known to us as Henderson Bridge.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, Shane.
Yeah, no problem. Another last minute thing that we had was they had asked me to look into ordering greater blade cutting edges. And so I talked to Foley and I just printed the email because that's all I have from them as far as documentation on pricing. Last time we ordered 10 bundles of 10 because it gives us a 20% discount. So you have an inordinate spending and it's going to be $15,103. I did turn off my last month end so you can see where we're at budget wise. We still have.
That's gonna be the next question.
Yeah, so that puts us a little over in our blades, but we have plenty of other line items that we are not over in this year. We still have about 25% left in our overall budget.
Okay.
Specifically our.
Probably you're over on blade because we put new blades on the graders that went back fully.
Yeah. So it just put us over by about 8,000 on our blade line item, but we still have about 11,000 extra in just white water. We're not going to use 11,000 in our water for the rest of the
Hopefully
year.
not within 2 weeks.
No, right? No.
You know that.
So that's the actual document. If you guys want to check it out.
Okay with that?
Yes.
Need a motion to,
As long as you got the money in your kitchen.
It's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
so I need a motion for the inordinate spending account for greater blade cutting edges in the amount of $15,103. So Luke, all in favor?
Aye.
That's a good deal.
And did you go ahead and order the welder there today?
Yes. Yeah. From Anderson Ball.
Okay. That's come down this year's budget also.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Shawnee Bridge is done. So whoever wants to pull a pin on Shawnee, that guy's
Let's
on
pull it.
Friday.
Which one's Shawnee?
That one,
Picked up
mile north of Addison.
here somewhere,
Right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Can you move it a little bit more so I can chase it? This one?
Okay.
Nice
There it
work,
is.
guys. Look at that.
Get less dots all the time.
Slowly but surely.
Very good, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And wait, since you're on bridges,
Do what?
It's a nice bolster.
Yeah, that's good.
the one that we was gonna take out on the Singer, did you go look at that guy?
So I did go look at that with Chad, and he recommends, it's really deep. He recommends we put pipes in it or it's gonna wash away the road.
Oh, that one that you keep saying just said.
Mm-hmm. And I've had Aldrich look at it. He also recommended pipes at the very least, or rebuild the
Is it
structure that's there. It's deep. He said, Aldrich said we needed 2 42-inch culverts, which we don't have anything in the 40s, so Chad said we could do 3 36s.
If the water's slow, does it go through that? If it's just a major flood, it doesn't care, it just goes where it wants.
Goes around the south end of it.
But if does it ever move through there slow, or is it just a flow?
Was there any water in it? Was there water in
There's
it?
no water in it. There's debris where you can see there's definitely like,
But
when
when
there's water,
you
there's
get a
a
big
lot.
rain though, it just, the bridge
It's
didn't hold it
anyway,
anyway.
push it, yeah.
I mean,
Do you want to visit with Mike?
my suggestion would be just to put something in there and grade it, and if it doesn't work, we can always go back to a piece of pipe in. That would be my suggestion.
That's what we'll do.
Because there's only about one person driving down that road, a farmer, and his suggestion was to take the thing out and not put anything in there.
Well, I'm just saying, since that's your area, maybe you talk to Mike Alder.
I talked to him, but is it gonna, if we don't put anything in now, we can always go back and put it in later, correct?
Right. But I'm not putting shell in there because you're gonna have a major miss.
I just want to
if you
grade
do
it so
that.
you can get down it.
We would taper it down, but chances are you probably will have to go back and put pipe in.
Right, and that's my concern is that we'll spend money rebuilding the
But-
road anyway.
We would
I'm not spending
find
much
out.
money on that road at all.
If a flood hits that pipe, what are the chances it's gonna block up with whatever debris is up on that?
Yeah, if there's that much debris, I
And
mean,
then
are they
shove it.
gonna
Well, it
do that
wasn't-
much good?
Right, it wasn't big debris. It would have gone through at 36. 42 would have been better, but we don't have any pipe that big.
I just wonder if we're gonna lose the pipe if we have to let it go through there.
It's gonna go south of it anyway.
Hooker.
So you think, you look at it, it's lower south.
I think we'll
and
cut it down and see what happens and go from there. If we have to go back and put them in, so be it.
No.
Just let that time.
I just don't wanna spend a lot of money on that road because, like I say, the one farmer goes from the south end, cause he has ground in the south,
Mm-hmm.
and goes around that road to work on a field north of there. And everybody else in that part of the country knows when it rains, don't go down that road.
Is that on the 10?
It's on 110, isn't it?
No, I mean,
It's the one, it's the northern dot right there.
oh, the
Yeah,
northern.
that little one right there, so
I think we
it's,
should put up slow signs where it just.
it's
You might wanna
at,
put
yeah, it's at that.
during rainfall, road floods or something like that to protect us. Cause it's gonna, I mean, it floods already, but if there's a ditch there,
You get some stranger comes down through there and decides to turn that way and they don't know.
Right, that's also my other concern, is that we know just the one guy normally uses it, but we have to make sure that it's safe for
there may be a
everybody.
ditch there if you don't.
The
So-
occasional hunter that comes through there.
Right.
He's in a bad place if he's going down the train.
Right, but you wouldn't know any better, so maybe some signage would work for that, you know, impassable on high water, I don't know what
Like I
else.
said, we can always go back and do something different if we have to.
If you get a big enough pipe, it may work, but you know, we've got big pipes all over in my part of the country, and when it rains or floods, it goes around and over and washes them out. And it's just a never ending, it never ends.
On a better note, Walden is done, finally.
Thank you for
Have
that.
you driven that?
Yeah, it needs rain.
It definitely
If
needs.
we get some rain, I think that's gonna set.
And you're gonna have a
fast.
lot of complaints when it does rain, because there's a lot of dirt in that.
Yeah.
After
maybe
rain or
greasy
two, I
road.
think it'll be.
Yeah. I've been down Berlin, so I know what it's gonna turn into, so,
You drove it?
yeah.
Very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
And they're
solid.
starting the Eagle today between 50 and 60.
Cool, thank you. Is that rock gonna make it that far through
I
there?
hope.
Okay.
They should have it all off, hopefully by the end of this week, well, Wednesday, be the end of the week. Not gonna be next week.
I like this list.
Yep.
Kind of reformatted it a little bit, I did it on our big board too, so we could kind of, you know, make more sense of it.
I like it.
And Jeff, I did talk to Larry Frieden. I went up there at the same time the fire department got there.
Oh, yeah, that burn day.
Yeah, he didn't restart the fire, the wind kindled it, your neighbor up north had a fit. But he was, anyway, he wants me to get that hauled off by the end of February, and I said,
Oh,
I'm
that'll
sure
work.
we can get that done. I said, we'll get what's out by the highway and then we'll discuss it over later. Still don't even know, so
Good,
that's taken care of.
good. Was any of that other concrete worth using, or?
I didn't go look at it, there's just too much going on there when I was there. Fire pits and-
Yeah. I guess it was a big show, I didn't see it.
So, road to Eagle's done, right?
Yes.
No,
I know.
Waldron's
Waldron's done, I already
Yeah,
deleted
yeah.
it.
So there's
Thanks
only
for
got,
that.
you got Pollitt Knob and Eagle left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but where we're gonna get the rock for all that, because we're not gonna have enough to finish Eagle.
How many miles on Eagle Road are you doing?
1 mile.
Just that 1 mile, between 50 and 60.
We don't have no more rock up here off the other pads?
There may be some up there, I'll have to check.
So more that,
Hopefully we'll have some more rock given to us.
Yeah, maybe. Things will work out.
Are you running out of sand in the creeks? I wondered, I figured if we don't have any floods pretty soon, you're not gonna.
Yeah, I'm hoping the individual that he did turn his application back in and I discussed with you, so.
Yeah,
yeah.
she gets more pushed up.
Push material.
You got plenty on the river,
Amy was gonna call him today if she got a chance to.
But I wonder if we don't get a flood through here though, we'll need something to help push more sand into the areas we're pushing out of, won't we?
Well, I think there's plenty to push.
Is there?
I know there's plenty of shell to push.
I remember after that last drought, it got to the point where we needed some rain to upright some.
Well, there was a question that she had to get with him about,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think I got you.
huh?
Go ahead, I'll finish up when you get done.
Hey, I'm done.
Thanks for sending them up to that, when the superintendent called up, I haven't given that, was it 140? So
140.
thanks for getting them up there. I don't think it's gonna last. I think in a few days it'll be back.
We had a new operator on, he did leave it pretty heavy, which helped
Yeah.
contribute to the problem, so
But if we
it's.
don't get rain, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
They used to put those scarifying blades on there. Would that have broke that down better?
Yeah, it would have,
I'm
but it's
just,
so
the
dry.
road that he wants
Who
to
knows?
do, kind of concerned
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
He's not from
So you want-
me. Like,
are you
it's
wanting
around
this
the
to
road and it's-
Go without the pipes for now on that, and see what happens.
At least on one of them, so.
Feather it out the best you can.
I wanna taper it down so it's a gradual drop rather than
Ditch.
you know, yeah.
That's fine.
I'm gonna have to do that or I'll shell, and if I whole shell, you might have to
If,
Stuck calling you, so.
if it doesn't work, you just put the pipes in, bring some chili, cover it up, and we go on.
Right,
I,
yes.
and so far we've had good
I
luck.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing is on the, we talked about this, the phone directory from 911 dispatch.
Oh, yeah.
You want, it's to my phone right now. Do you guys wanna go to his phone and mine be backup?
Yeah.
I used to always call them before.
Okay.
Well, right now, the reason I say that is because I think they were a little bit, they didn't know who to call, cause I was at the basketball practice and they was trying to get home when the wind was blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't carry my phone on the basketball practice. It's 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
So they got a hold of him, his number. But anyway, I called him back and they go, "Hello, Mike." And I said, "This ain't Mike, this is Darren."
See,
Well,
no,
my-
that's the problem, cause I've told them 2 different times now to take your number off as number
I don't
1.
think they'll do that without us
Server.
doing that though.
And then Janice needs to be the number 2, if I can't get him. Then
Okay, I don't care if mine
But they can
on
have
the
both of my phone numbers, county and personal. Or they've already got my personal number.
Yeah.
They would call me, especially the alarms.
Well, just as long as they have,
So do we need to make that happen, or?
Normally I do, I just update my contact information, so I'm not sure. I will get with Christina and ask her.
And give Janice
Chris and ask her what's,
too there.
because that's the last one I sent was to her. She was just double checking, so
Yeah.
she's got somebody in there, I guess, who didn't get the memo, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
it didn't matter to me who was getting, or how we did it. Cause the last time they called, they called me directly and asked me, and I said, "That's correct." And this time they called me, or I called them back, and she goes, "Well, this is Mike's number." I said, "No, this ain't Mike's number, this is Darren's number."
Did the wind cause any problems on the road?
We had 3 trees knocked down. Just limbs, nothing major.
You would
Not like
lot
I
of
thought it
sand
would
off
be.
the road.
Yeah.
It is,
Cleared
it's
it.
good now.
There's some bare spots
Yeah,
there.
cleared them, yeah.
There was a whole
Okay,
structure that was out in the road at one point that they had to block the road
Really?
for people to pull their shed back off. It was rough, but.
Pretty weird, wasn't
I'm
it?
Yeah.
assuming, what, they got all our numbers, so if they gotta get hold of somebody, they got a whole directory full of them.
Yeah.
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 Thank you for the dinner Friday night.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to you.
We're on the schedule.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, are you in the executive session with Amy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Might sit tight for a minute. She may be on the phone or something.
She on now too, and then on that later too? She's on last too, right?
Yeah, she is.
And Tracy's up. No.
What's next? Yeah, okay. Hey, where did Tom grow up at?
Harper.
Southeast.
Really? And did you grow up there too?
I went to college in Florida.
That's how you found it.
I worked with his sister at a law firm, and so I knew both his sisters and his youngest brother before I ever knew him.
Okay, so you drove him back down. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
What, how long do we need?
Maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes? About half hour?
Start with.
To start with. This isn't the big one, and I don't even have that much this afternoon.
Personnel, I suppose?
You probably have more than you think you do, by the time you get done.
Okay, I need somebody to make a motion. To go into executive session, subject to be discussed to be personnel matters, justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters and non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume in this room at 9, can we just do 9:45? That'd be all right? That'd be tight. Somebody want to make that motion?
So,
All in favor? Aye.
Oh.
Darren made the motion to extend for 5 minutes. All in favor?
Don't start that one.
Thank Mike for this.
I think that gets
Thank you, Mike. Merry Christmas,
I
Mike.
know.
Happy New Year.
Tracy, you are up.
I'm up.
Yeah.
All right.
Good morning.
No, sorry.
No, you're fine, dear. How are you guys?
Good, and you?
Good. Hard at it.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot. Just kind of letting you know. I think I might have said something. We had a patrol car wrecked in the chase. We're working on that with Highway Patrol in Oklahoma. Should be getting a report to us, so we can get that. Busy. Been running all morning already.
I met someone this morning.
Yep. And then,
He was going to eat, son, what is it?
yeah, going to a wreck here, and then I got called out to EMS, domestic situation here. So, doing calls for Anthony and us, keeps us running, so.
Any word at all from Sedgwick County on inmates? Nothing. They don't even talk about it anymore.
Haven't heard nothing out of them.
I mean, we got now.
The last I looked, we were at 17, but I don't know where we're at this morning. I didn't have time to, I walked in and ran over
We're
here.
getting pretty good numbers already anyway.
Yeah, we could make room for them, but yeah, for some reason the numbers have been up. So, but still, I'd like to fill them up. Right now, we're over Barber County is what we're housing, which that's making us a little bit. So. I just did another invoice to them. They were here this morning when I come in, picking one up and taking them back over to court. So, yeah. Other than that, and I'm trying to get my evals done. Going to meet.
Boy, I hope so. You about ready to run out of time.
I know.
Put the final stamp on the date.
I got them, and then trying to figure them out. So I come over here. I'm like, Kenny. He said it's a mess, and I'm like, well, it's supposed to be easy. So come over here, and then she showed me. I'm like, they're easy. So I sent them to all my guys, and then some of them filled them out, sent them back, or they sent them out on whatever program that is. And I went in and brought one of my employees up, and it came up. But then the other guys this weekend, I was going to do it from my phone, and it won't show up on my phone. So I don't know if it's in here. Hopefully it didn't delete all of them. So I'm going to
Get
go
what I
in.
mean. We just will not touch the computer.
When I get over there, oh, I hate them. And I think it may be my phone, because I'm trying to bring it up on my phone. I hope. If not, I mean, it's not that big a deal. They can go back in and put their numbers back in and stuff.
Well, and they realize there's money attached to that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, they're doing it. It's not on them, it's me.
Okay.
And
I didn't get
I
it
thought
to
you
them
wanted to
until.
if there's 5 on there, there really need to be a good reason for 5.
Yeah.
They filled out very well.
Well, no, I already told them if you put anything over 3, you better have an explanation. So they're doing that, and it's me. I'm not blaming on them.
Sean, on that deal, does he have a car next year? You went over,
I'll go grab that and
I
see.
think we had 2.
Yeah.
it's on that paper.
That's the way I remember this too.
I hope so. That's what we were thinking.
Are you
Especially wrecking one, I'm like,
are you looking ahead at that right now, or how's that going to work for you guys to get something?
well, I don't know how it's gonna work because Dodge quit putting orders in.
Yeah, well, that's what.
But I know Newberry's had a pickup, and they were kind of putting it in the back burner for us, hopefully. Can't do that. We can't order it, but I told Brad, I was like, if you want to sit on one, so I know we've got one sitting there that he said I'll keep for you and won't sell. It's a police package. But as far as ordering the other one,
You know how long that would work. I haven't followed that stuff lately.
I
I'm
haven't
supposed to
ordered
catch
one. Oh, it's
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. But so hopefully we'll at least have one when the time comes, and that'll help.
I'm betting they're gonna have a hard time getting vehicles.
Oh yeah, it's a mess. And it's that way statewide. I had
2 weeks and then
Clark County called me and said, we heard you had a vehicle for sale. And I'm like, no.
You might have been able to make some money.
Oh yeah, they're hurting. And they're like, we'll buy it if you have something. I'm like, no, I can't sell anything. I don't have anything.
So what do you want your second vehicle to be?
Whatever I can get,
Minivan, whatever.
you know,
Obviously,
obviously,
I don't know, but.
it'll be our K9 units. So, I mean, if I can get a Durango for the K9, the trucks are just not much room in there, time to have a dog in the back.
No, that's a million, that's a million fund on the
Right.
cost, or is that money got the yellow? It's gonna be way over 10,000.
Yeah, it looks like 23 and
Put that record sitting up here.
each one.
Yeah,
Probably take it back.
You know, with the miles, cause it was one I was gonna get rid of this year.
No, this is from another county, remember?
Oh,
Here a month or so ago. I don't
It
know.
might have been
So
Barbara.
these should be replaced now, we should have replaced the copier, and the ambulance this year.
yeah, so, okay, so this is the balance that are in there, 23, okay. And then there's gonna be another 9 for each one.
How much in cars gonna cost you?
Just roughly, time your wire, man, I think probably 40 grand.
You're gonna pay more money.
Yeah.
That's hard to estimate how much all that's gonna be though.
Yeah.
It is, cause right now, can't go buy a used one for 40.
Yep.
But you're better off buying new, cause then you turn around and drive it
So,
for 1,000
I
miles
think right
and
now,
make more money
I
on
think
it.
right now, brand new is a better deal than you.
We just bought one for my wife, cause issue there, but that dealer told the same thing. He said, as soon as you drive this off the lot and put 1,000 miles on it, you can sell it for more than what we
Isn't that
can sell it
nuts?
to.
We did the same thing because we couldn't find anything used that we liked and the prices were so jacked
Oh,
up.
outrageous.
It didn't make sense to be there. I don't know how that worked.
And it wasn't kidding, cause I started looking on there and they had the 2-year older, exact same thing had what we paid new. I'm like, that's stupid.
It is, but you have it in hand versus
Yeah.
if you go tell the dealership I want one, it may be months before you get it. So that's the difference, is you have it in hand and you may not be able to replace it.
Yep. So,
Hmm.
but other than that, guys, that's all I have. But I mean, at some point, and I'm gonna get out, I've gotta try. So we might as well talk about the whole jail thing.
Eventually you're gonna talk
I
about
doubt it's gonna go.
it. Eventually you're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I am, so I guess if we want to start that, because if we do, we're gonna have to probably get it on the ballot for next year. And I don't know what the time frame is there. I don't think the way the economy is, I don't know that it's gonna fly. But
There's more money sitting around now than there was a year ago, so.
But I know, like you said, at some point we're gonna have to talk about it, cause that thing's gonna need to be replaced sometime, or redone completely.
What's the projected lifetime of the jail anyway? Give me a idea.
Oh, I have no idea, but I can,
When was that one go?
70s. But it wasn't designed to house the inmates we're holding, that's the issue too, and then you got the boiler system and all that in there that's.
Are you thinking across the yard if we could make
That's
that
where
go?
we were thinking, if we can get it done, is over here.
Where I'm gonna keep it.
And that's kind of what we were looking at with that deal I sent you guys, was, you know, maybe with EMS or dispatch too, having them on one end and all of us.
What would we use that building for then?
I mean, we talked about it years ago, which when the county attorney was over there, you know, the county attorney or the court services, anybody, and then the sales, about if you shut the plumbing and stuff off, you wouldn't have to worry about it, but you could give each department that needs storage rooms a key to a cell and let them put their files and stuff like that in there.
Annex.
That's why I like a long-term agreement with
I'm with
inmates.
you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. You know, the 1 cent sales tax is what Kenny had wrote up and I sat down and talked about. You know, of course that's gotta go to a vote, so I don't know.
It'd almost be better if we didn't have the CID and then you could swap that around for the CID taxes.
And I've got a guy out of South Texas that I talked to when I was down there. He helps find the funding and all that for jails, and Ryan, the guy that does our jail phones and stuff, got me hooked up with him, and I know we got a call into him, and he said he'd be more than glad to come and help, and he helps present it to the community to show them why you need it and what it, where to get the money
We
from.
need it, because it's gonna
Yes,
cost the
ma'am.
county a substantial amount of money to ship out of here.
Oh, yeah.
What about, is there a need statewide for other inmate housing for other counties to send them here? Not, so Barber County, they still have to come over and take it, but long-term type.
And that I don't know, with having Sumner County next to us and all the bigger jails, I don't know,
If that would even work.
being close to Sumner County.
You see what I'm saying?
What's Barber County, they're never going back to the jail, or what's their outlet, you have any idea?
The last I heard that it was still up in the air if they were ever gonna start building another one back or not, but I hate to even say, cause I don't
Yeah,
keep up.
I'm just
with it.
curious, I mean, we've been housing theirs for quite a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
6 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah, and they know how expensive it
You
is to
know better
build.
than me, but I heard from somebody over there that didn't think they would.
Yeah. So it may be something, we can sign some kind of contract with them, but it's, with being a smaller county, you never know what the inmate population is gonna be like.
Yeah, because, I don't want to lose, because it's substantial amount of money we'd have to ship the inmates out. And I don't know if everybody realizes that or not, but it would be,
If we don't get people wanting to be cops, though, we ain't gonna have any cops to arrest people, so we don't have to worry about it. Right now, the Anthony, I think, they're, 3, and what I hear, maybe down to 2 shortly, and we're already taking calls for them, and they just can't get applicants. Nobody wants to apply. And it's that way statewide. Everybody's hurting. So,
I know where you're at with it, I just like see, like, Sandra County, some kind of agreement with them, even,
Well, that helps sell it.
yeah.
That would be the same.
yeah, if you can say you'll bring in, 100 or 200,000 a year,
But it also
but
tells you about how many beds you need. I mean, if you had some kind, because if you build a 10 bed, let me just throw this number out, and all of a sudden you need 30 beds because they said, well, we need it. We need to kind of know we need 30 beds to start with.
yeah. And that proposal, I think we did 40, 50 beds, something like that's what I'm looking at, because we're close to 30 now, and I figured with an extra 10 or so, we'd have to make some income
I
off
wouldn't
of
make
it.
it too
But
small.
you're right, if you don't have that,
Yeah,
that's a big issue.
it is, and I don't know the solution to it. I've told you guys this before, it's even with my jail staff, I don't know if you can throw, amount of money will even make a difference. People don't want that line of work anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and to throw on top of that, everybody's got to come. So it's not just you guys, so why would they go take a job like that if they could make another job?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the solution is.
Well,
I
I
know it makes
mean,
it tough on us.
it's something you, like I say, the voters have to decide. I mean, come up with a proposal and yay, and no.
Yeah. And I know just like the other night, we had, and I'm trying to watch my budget to get by the end of the year, and the city of Anthony did a search warrant that was in the county, so I had to call my guys after the chase and been out for 2 days and had to have them out again, and we were out having to serve a search warrant out in the county. So I just don't have any choice. I have to have them out.
Do you get,
So,
the city pay for that, the county, or you just do it for, are they taking care of you when you just, okay, I didn't know.
Kind of doesn't make sense, does it?
We have to do anything that's a state law.
Right.
We're required. Now, we won't enforce ordinances because we don't have the authority to. But if it's a state law, any crime like that, we have to respond.
It's like, well, you guys want to, you enforce ordinances, but you don't do whatever it takes for.
How many employees do you have now?
6 right now as far as deputies, and me, including me. 7, 6. Yeah, we're just short of 1. And it's helpful that my SRO now, he started today helping us.
Yeah, he's one of them.
And was on the wreck this morning helping me, so.
No school.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so that kind of helped a little bit with that, so. Anyway. Other than that, guys, that's all I have.
It's good seeing you.
Yeah. Thanks, Tracy. You guys
See you
have a
guys at
good
the
Christmas.
party. You too.
Had a good time and thank you for all that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good time. Food was good.
It's a good atmosphere. It was a good place to have it, I think.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. We enjoyed it. And good time.
Next year, we may be cooking for you next year.
Yeah.
We're getting to drop that budget down a little bit, so.
We may be doing the cooking.
It's true, we'll taste the cookie running.
I haven't turned you down on helping cook yet, so holler and we can get the cooker.
We'll have a party. I think
We
we'll
talked about that the other night, we might have to.
Get more creative with it.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. We'll do something.
Price of meat.
Well, man, we done
We may donate that to you.
I just went out yesterday and shot a cow elk in Oklahoma. Cause I'm like, my buddy called and said they had a special season and he said, anybody we got 40, 50 cows and bulls on our land. So I went out there and shot one yesterday morning, drove home, but that's 500-600 pounds of meat for,
Yep.
I'm like, I'll do whatever to save money.
They say that's the closest to tasting beef, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and ours are all corn fed, wheat fed, alfalfa. Heck, they were on an alfalfa field tearing it up when I got there, so.
And there's a lot of people were donating to that Russell deal, wasn't that where the fire was at?
Yeah,
Russell?
with all that stuff up north.
Donating meat.
All right, well, thank you, Tracy.
We'll
All right.
you.
See you, buddy.
Have a good Christmas.
You too, Mary.
Take care.
All right.
3,500 a head or something.
Those guys be careful out there.
Yeah, I was getting ready to have a full sale. Lost
Pretty,
them all.
pretty frustrating. Pretty sad. My kids were watching that. Pretty sad.
Hello, good
How are you,
morning.
Michelle?
I'm all right.
Good.
Okay, I need a new printer or it's a check printer, it's a maker printer. It has to, fortunately, has to be a special printer because it prints on checks, a special type. Josh has been working diligently with Chris from Galaxy, found me the best deal. This is what we're looking at. I did have funds left in 028, which is motor vehicles, so I just wanted you guys kind of courtesy on the, because it is going to go out of 028. I went back and forth between tech fund and just and saving that, so but there was, after the end of the year, I know there's going to be enough in the motor vehicle to cover it.
So not really a choice on this deal.
Well, yeah,
check
but as a
that.
courtesy,
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah, I know,
know, I mean, I don't wanna-
Well,
yeah.
and that's part of the inward spending deal. We gotta have that anyway. But
Sure.
I'm just saying we gotta have the check.
Yep, absolutely.
You gotta print checks.
Yep, we got
So,
print checks. It's,
Somebody wanna
and
make
it
a
comes,
motion for $1,689 for inordinate spending request from Michelle for a check printer.
So,
All in favor?
Right.
all right. And real quick, since I'm in here, so I don't have to come back, I need a motion or in the minutes to get Jessie Mock off of our checking accounts, because I'm gonna have to go do those all over again now since she's gone. She was a signer on our checks, so I don't know how
You
that
need
is.
to get rid of one and add one then? Or you
I think Brooke would be fine. I was asked, do we need a motion for it, or does it just need to be in the minutes?
If they have a consensus to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'll put in add Brooke Pack and then I'll think about it a little bit. I just hate to, turn over and then have to do it all over again.
So.
But as a backup, it's always good to have that extra person there. Because like right now, Brooke's over there by herself because Cynthia's at a funeral and I hear the phone going crazy, so.
You guys got any questions? You okay with that? You okay?
I'm good with
I do have one quick question for you.
Yes.
That December 21st deadline
Yeah.
on the taxes, what will that mess up?
It-
As far as NRP and all that stuff? will
It's
that
not
affect?
gonna mess up anything. The only thing it did was make the penalties and interest due, it's gonna make it start accumulating on the 22nd. When it got put in, it defaulted to last year because last year the 20th was on a Sunday and it defaulted and somehow something didn't get clicked and it just rolled over like that, so.
Okay, so that really won't affect?
It won't affect NRP or anything. We're still keeping that. We'll print the reports and everybody knows that's in NRP when their taxes are going to be paid.
Okay, I didn't know if that caused you guys a nightmare if the computer was messed up. Okay.
Yep. Nope.
All right. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, do you need that?
Isn't it great?
All right, thank you,
About
sir.
5 minutes for this.
If you want. Sean, you want us to take a break for 5 minutes?
how long is it?
Sure. Mine won't be very long unless you guys have questions.
You wanna do that? Okay.
Unless you gotta go back.
Got my eye turned on you.
It's all right. Yeah, when you gotta go, you go, but we make
Yeah.
that
You guys aren't home like that.
See how it works.
I see that's working too.
Okay, at least,
No, I'm here. When Sean's ready to sit down.
Yeah.
Okay, she sent some stuff.
Yeah, so I have the narrative and the financials, and if you guys had a chance to.
Did you send it to us, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did, okay.
I looked at it a little bit, it was sent on the.
Once you got a paper copy there, I can use.
Yeah.
Lot better.
Nope.
What's that? No, I can't find it.
Right there, it's under notes, I think. Okay,
Looks like things are going well for end of year.
So I'll tell you, so what Linda normally did for us, not that you have to do it that way, if these guys want to do, she would hold our hand and walk us through every one of these
Okay.
stuff, so.
Okay.
And I know this is your first time, but gosh, it's sure handy for me if you want to do it
Okay.
that way. And can I use, do you have that, I can have that and follow along with the narrative at the same time?
Sure.
Or is that all, that's all just for one? Is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just.
all right. So Jeff may want that, okay, on this thing.
Go ahead, no, you're fine, go ahead.
And
Okay.
you'll be fine.
Okay, yes, I have a
no
note.
pressure.
Notepad, so if we have any questions, I can ask Linda. So everything, it looks like it's going, trending under budget in the, oh, that's the wrong page. Let's start on page 1. Okay, so, anything in this column that is, over 8% is over budget, and so the only things that we have are commissioners, the sheriff, and human resources. Everything else is under budget. So there was really no concern in that area. On page 3, the remaining budget revenue was $38,641, or 4.15%. Mineral production tax, solid waste fees, diversion fees are all under budget. Treasurer's revenue in April, which had the tax sale proceeds of $128,786, and then June a tax sale refund for track 3 for $1,538. General fund.
So mineral production tax, solid waste fees, and diversion fees are not bringing any of those in like we budgeted for.
Right.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna go back and try to.
Let's see, that was on page 3. That's what you're
Yeah,
looking
that's
at.
the whole package right here. Yeah, and that's what Linda would normally
Okay.
bring us, just so you know, for next
Okay,
time, she
yeah.
would bring us that, and then we'd be able to have that to look at. 'cause-
Okay,
We
sure.
go through the same page you're going through,
Yeah.
we're trying to keep up with it.
Okay, oh, sure. I can definitely do that.
Two. We're past his page, he will.
Well, no, no, no.
Mhm.
So, wonder why human resources is only 7%. Remaining, what did she say, remaining one? Oh, the services probably, contractual services, I'm guessing. That's probably some of it.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
Okay, so the general fund expenditures on pages 4 through 9. Commercials have 4.99%. And completed the transfer from community development to reimburse for community cleanup costs of $5,021. They had an employee not being allocated for wages towards time spent at landfill. It was corrected with a transfer in November. County, for sheriff, county clerk deposited the SRO revenue into an expense line, and a transfer had to be completed, and therefore the September report was showing inaccurate, and this was corrected in October. Contractual services is over budget 28.71%, and capital outlay is over budget by 145.26%. Human resources will be over budget in salaries and over budget in contractual.
Services.
7.98 overall, remaining for HR is 7.37, so that's fine.
What's the reason of that capital outlay? Why are we over budget by that far? on the sheriff there. I'm trying to figure out what.
Page that on.
4 through 9 somewhere.
4 through 9. It's on page 6 there, I believe. That's because of the, is that the vehicle? Can you see it better on that thing?
Which one you want?
We're looking at the contractual services is over budget by 28.71%. Capital outlay under the sheriff is also over budget by 145.26%. So I'm trying to figure out where we're at there.
I don't know if I got that paper from this. Did you send that paper to us too?
Yeah, it's in there. It's right next to the. See with this deal, I can go back and forth. You can't do that probably. Probably not. Right?
I got that.
What was you looking for? Run?
Page
6?
Yep. Yep. On page 6 there. Underneath the sheriff, the capital outlay portion of the sheriff is over 145.26%. And so I was trying to see what caused that. And I don't know that we will know by looking at this deal. Something there in October was $2,470. I don't know what that was. That wouldn't have been a vehicle. That's not that line. Okay, go ahead, Sean. I don't know what that would be. It's something.
I can
It's
ask.
not. That 145% sounds
Yes.
bad,
Right.
but it's not as bad as it sounds because it's only, let's see, a couple $1,000 there over. So it's not as bad as what that percentage sounds. I had to go make sure.
Okay. Excuse me, so in human resources, they will be over budget in salaries and over budget in contractual was 7.98, but their overall remaining is 737. General fund overall remaining budget is 916,254 or 16.99%.
Not
Very
bad
good.
there.
Yeah. Other department revenues on pages 10 through 12. EMS exceeded budget in the ambulance fees by 16,480 or 5.49%. The health department remaining budget for fees for services 74,607 or 38.87, trending under budget revenue. Department on Aging exceeded budget in meal donations by $594 or 3.12%.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Public transportation fees remaining budget $1,036 or 6.02%.
Yeah, bring lots of money.
Yeah, okay. Now pages 13 through 15.
We may have budgeted for that revenue to be lower, knowing that COVID was with us.
All departments are doing well, trending under budget. The employee benefit fund, which is on page 14, has 23.15% remaining.
Wow.
Yep. Paid
The
annual.
road and bridge is 53% remaining.
Yeah.
We'll take some of that away from that welder though too.
Yeah.
Paid annual WC premium in January of $94,879, and the balance due for WC audit of $6,210 in March. Will be over budget in unemployment insurance. 2020 KUC rate was 0.26. 2021 KUC rate increased to 0.61. Funded the HRA in the account $35,822 in September. Public Transportation Fund completed transfer to reimbursed benefit fund for COVID grant $23,645.02. Overall, other budgets or other departments with 26.51% remaining. Doing good. Cash analysis on page 16.
So this on the noxious weed, when was this Cause they just took a bunch of money out for spray, so that probably isn't in there
No.
yet, it's just November, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Ready for 16?
Yep.
Okay. Listed 15% of the 2021 budget as other goal or desired cash carryover, estimated revenue using 95% remaining tax and 85% of the revenue for estimates. Using higher percentage estimates, previously used 90% for taxes and 80% for other revenues, changed based on historical data. In prior years exceeded budget, other revenue, and most funds. Assuming that spending totals remaining budget use 5-year average encumbrances, 5-year history of encumbrances listed in the lower section. In the past couple of months, we have been watching 911 fund and the public transportation cash balances. October was a good month for these funds and they now show a positive cash projection.
Yeah.
We'll still need to watch them as we get closer to the end of the year. The health fund may not be able to spend remaining budget as cash projection shows a shortage of $1,146. Spending the entire budget is not likely as 1 month average expenditure is $36,000 with only December remaining. Employee benefits may not be able to spend remaining budget as cash projection shows a shortage of $56,320. Spending entire budget is not likely as their 1 month average is $165,000 in December remaining. So I'm still training with Linda on various monthly duties and year-end functions. Linda is working on reconciliation of EMS billing and as they work to switch to the new vendor.
So the budgeted cash carryover, we're not gonna hit some of them, will we? We're estimated shortage. That's okay, I mean, we're plus, so
Didn't think that there was any concerns.
No.
Yeah.
Good job, John.
That's
Okay,
good.
thanks.
It's just gonna get easier from here.
Yes, I know, getting the first one out of the
Yeah.
way is, whew, a
You
sigh
did
of
fine.
relief.
You did fine.
Okay.
Now, if it was my first time listening, I'd say, oh my God.
I don't understand this,
No,
yeah.
no, you did fine, John.
Okay.
Get easy.
Okay, good.
You've not even been here.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And you're on the spot doing this.
I know, I
Now,
know.
this would be horrible for me to sit down and have to do this in front of somebody.
Sorry, thanks.
Thank you for that, Sean.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So then Linda wanted me to also ask about year-end transfers to capital reserves. Are we gonna let departments do that? I guess in the year, last year, these were some transfers that they did. Are you guys okay with those? If they have the funds,
Transfer to what?
like their budget over into the capital reserves?
So they can hold it over to buy
Yes.
equipment and stuff next week, or next week, next year.
Next week?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Maybe,
not 2
yeah, a
weeks,
couple,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, some of this has to be right, because we got next year, like the EMS capital reserve.
Some of it's gotta be moved, that's for the capital, yeah.
I mean, we're
So
capital
what
for
they
gym.
typically do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where, a lot of this is what Melinda wanted to move over for vehicles, because the capital equipment reserve,
Yeah, some of it we're counting on that to happen.
Okay.
it's gotta happen.
I would assume most of that we're counting on it to happen.
Okay.
I don't think that has to be in there further.
Future vehicle. Yeah, that's what most of these are, is
Yeah.
the vehicle replacements.
It was transfers in order to get the capital equipment plan in place.
Right, okay.
can, I got my glasses, you got
Well,
glasses.
no, I just hadn't reached over to grab it
I'm not sure that that number is good enough for the police department. I think
yet. I don't think it's gonna work, is it?
we're gonna have to come up with some more somewhere,
Am I holding it still enough for you?
not buy it.
Wait, that's
We
someone.
might have to hold off on something else we're supposed to get to that. That's a,
What did he say the number was that he thought, rough estimate?
40,000.
What do you?
I mean, it's just,
No.
I think I told
That
that
was
capital
gonna be taken
plan,
away.
you gotta know that really well.
They're
Yeah.
pulling these,
Yeah.
you're looking at the sheriff for,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna ask you a lot, okay, we're gonna need to buy this, and make sure we have the money in there, that's just something that's gonna be asked a lot, over the next year, probably real quick.
And that would
I'll
come
talk
out
about
of the, I mean, to help him out, would come out of where?
Well, this is out of his budget
I know.
this year. And so that's all he's
it.
doing.
And this stuff here,
And putting it into.
I got
we
you.
need to see if that's happened
So
already
he,
or not.
and that's how we set that up, so
Yes.
everybody
It has
that
to be-
buys a vehicle.
It has to be
every
done this
year,
year,
keep that extra, and we're gonna pump it into the.
or, because we're not gonna have money next year for it.
Right, okay, yeah, I can work.
Which
on
is good.
checking on
Yeah.
that.
Some of these, we should have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
Isn't the stuff in the green that's supposed to happen this year, we need to make sure it's happened, or we won't, it won't be.
Correct, yeah. They won't be able to be used for their
Next-
departments like they
Next
want.
year won't happen, so
They'll be a little upset when it comes next year and they say, well, where was that? Well,
you should have that, yeah, that was planned in this year's budget.
and you might visit with Moses a little bit about how that needs to happen.
Okay.
Linda came in, went over this with you, didn't she?
Mm-hmm,
It's a lot of stuff to swallow though.
It is.
There may be multiple sessions. You
Oh,
gotta
yes.
ask her question.
Yes, I know she's gonna try to come in again before year end to go over more stuff, so yes. All right, this is from Jennifer Wolf. She was wanting me to double check with you guys to see if she could get thank you appreciation gifts of SBK gift cards of $100 each for Glenn Barker and Andy Sauer, as these guys have been pulling so many hours at the Harper Senior Center to keep the senior meal program going, despite the extended leave of the manager. They haven't had to close a day since the manager called in sick between October 4th until now, between these two guys and her.
Where'd that money come from?
Well, the only thing I have a question about on that is, so for Attica, there were volunteers that come into Attica and help keep it running. So what's the time frame? I mean, are we counting 3
Well,
hours, 10 hours? I
Well,
mean, some of those boys are
they go above and beyond, those two people, is what I've been told, so.
same here. but how do we-
Probably,
How do
yeah.
you make that distinction between one versus another? Because I hear it already. Why'd you do it for them and not the ones over in Attica?
Can you have Jennifer, find out, because you don't leave them people out, because they're gonna feel bad, and then they're gonna say, you know what?
Yeah, we give all the time of it
Is
too.
there two in that?
There were 2 or 3 maybe in Attica that volunteered. Maybe even more than that. I mean, there was a few of them there when they couldn't get an employee, they were gonna close the door.
I don't know anything about that, I was just told about these two.
Right.
and-
But they were either gonna close the door or
Yeah,
have volunteers keep it moving and had volunteers come in.
well, I don't, it's fine, we can do them all, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you gotta make it right with them.
Right. But I think she wanted to pull that out of her.
Her budget.
Yeah, contractual meals. It has plenty available.
Well, I wanna know who the other people were that were there too, because I don't know.
Yeah. You might talk to her about that.
Okay.
that.
Getting another hazard pay.
Okay, and
Well, you wanna make sure they take care of it, because they find out, well, you don't like, give them $100, we're not getting anything, so our time isn't worth nothing. Stay on.
okay, final thing, Jackie Kime was wondering about deciding on the official county paper for 2022. When do you guys want to do that
When do we
today?
usually do that?
Do that after the new year, because didn't we send out for bids sometime after the new year and then you guys sent your bids in?
We part of that, so that'd be,
I think we have the bids in December, but you guys didn't.
And we had to be able to open them after January when you guys took over.
yep, because we used part of that decision.
So
That's first thing.
Pretty
First
quick,
thing
what
we-
was she wanting to know for?
She did not say, just,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that process happens, but we'll need to send out to.
Forbid.
like, bids
Well,
over.
when do we start that process? Because, I mean, we need to let everybody know.
Well, she'll know that.
Yeah.
We can send it out next week and have it ready to go.
So you got Harper, Anthony, is Attica still, do they have anything anymore?
He didn't submit a bid, but he needs to have the opportunity to.
Okay, Okay, so Jackie sends out the bids, or
No.
who does? Me? Okay.
We wasn't gonna say it, man.
Sure, we were hoping you could start to connect the dots.
Yeah, right, okay.
But it will go out, and if we do, can you have that ready for next week?
Mm-hmm,
Somebody will help you in the courthouse, though,
okay.
and we'll have that ready for next week, and then we can have it to where we open it up within the first
Second week of January.
or second week, whatever.
Okay.
Cause we was part of that, so that'd be,
When you
March.
it was you started the second week of
It
January,
was, the first week we were in here.
so,
and that was like the second week in January. So it'd be like the 10th, so we'll submit, we'll go out on the 27th and then have them all in by the 10th to open on the, or do you have them in by the Friday before and then open on the 10th? That'd be enough time? Jason, is that enough time to do that?
I think it'd be 3 weeks.
Should be plenty.
Okay, all right, that was all that I
Glad she
had.
brought that up, we might have forgot that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known, so, yes.
You will now.
You wouldn't know it, cause you'd be getting phone calls.
Right. Okay, that's it for me.
Good job.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you, Sean.
You did
It'll
good.
be a lot easier next time.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yep.
You're the rock star we're looking for.
Hey Jeff, can we take a little break?
Oh, let's wait till I go.
Guys, I'll make that motion, any motion to recess for 5 minutes?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take a break.
Pepsi.
What do you guys have to?
Oh, yeah, he likes to have a copy, I was gonna ask, I forgot.
I gave him mine back, so.
Yeah.
And usually I give him my copy, whenever Linda's done, I'll hand him my copy, that way he can take it.
Okay, all right, very good.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
Check me right. He's on our bill.
Now, just bear with me, I'll
That's
get it
no
one of
problem.
these days. So you get the entire financial report? Okay.
And then the summary,
Oh, it's this, okay. Let me just take a copy because I read some, so I know what's doing. I'll be right back. Yes, I did, I did not see it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so I was just making sure.
Yes.
Okay,
And that's the one that got sent to me, so.
okay, okay.
Yep.
I just couldn't make sure.
Yeah, no, that's good, I'm still learning everything.
Yeah, I just.
Yes, yes.
do. Got any oil bars, a couple of bars here too. Breakfast time.
I need to learn to do that.
Breakfast time.
You've never done it?
Let's do it.
No,
I don't know what I'm feeling for.
I somewhat do. It's, well, what you remember, it's snagging and what, that's it.
Motion to reconvene.
So moved.
All in favor?
Alright.
How you doing, Heather?
I'm good. How are you three?
Good.
Just a couple updates. There have been cases of RSV and influenza A reported in Harper County, and the health department also worked with the Kansas Department of Ag and KDHE regarding a foodborne illness that occurred from a private event. COVID-19 numbers, Friday we reported 95 active cases. Today I am
We weren't
orienting.
there. We weren't there.
You weren't there.
Yeah, that's good.
You know by now.
Yeah,
You don't
know.
quit.
You know. Today I'm orienting a new employee for the in-home service program. She's an attendant care worker.
Great.
So we've hired we have three attendant care workers now.
Yeah.
Are you back up to normal staffing?
No, we're missing one.
One short, yeah.
One short, so fingers crossed. I have the Coalition Executive Board meeting will be held Tuesday, January 11th at 1 o'clock in Pratt. And then we're also here, I plan to ride with Virginia to that. And then January 19th, Coalition, we have a training for all family planning and WIC staff, so we would close the building. Our in-home service staff would still be providing services, but it's at Pratt, and I've asked for a county vehicle. Currently, there'd be 5 employees.
You guys okay with both of these?
Taking a little red car then? Or
Take
the plane?
whatever we can get 5 of us in, whatever's available, I guess.
Will it fit by? Bring them in that dark.
Dark, a Jeep, something.
Went in the trunk, what do you think?
Probably better driving than one of our kind of pickups. When's that door up for replacement? When's it on there?
I don't know that sheet, man. It's already getting close.
How old is it? Well, you're,
A little bigger next time.
And then I have 2 inordinate spending authorizations for vaccine. One's for Prevnar and the other's for Shingrix. For a total of $2,789.26.
not what?
Shingrix vaccine for shingles and then for pneumonia vaccine.
You got one? You know, some of those Halloween candies that kids get, you know, the little small package? Some of those had like 3 or 4. I mean, they didn't have hardly.
Anything.
Got
Oh
it
my
back.
gosh. Yeah, kids are getting too chubby. All right, need a motion for the Shingrix vaccine, $1,618.50.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the other is for the PPSV 23 vaccine, $1,170.76.
So what was that for again?
Pneumonia.
I knew what this one was.
$1,170.76. Need a motion for that?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have selective hearing, have you?
Yes. I thought you already asked that question, didn't you? I was thinking about something else when we was talking about that. My mind's got other things on the plan.
Oh, I know.
Besides.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And then I would just like to request a 5-minute executive session to discuss non-elected personnel.
Okay.
You said 5 minutes?
She says 5 minutes. She's gonna keep it under 5 minutes probably.
She will.
You think?
I'll try.
You want Amy present?
Sure. If
Okay.
Amy's here, that's fine.
If Amy's listening, hello Amy.
Start hearing heels ever.
No, you can't hear her today.
Oh.
She's got her quiet shoes on.
She does.
She heard you say that last time, so I.
Is there a delay on that thing? Hey, oh, there you go. She's already on her way. All right, so I need a motion to go into executive session. Anyone? Okay, the subject to be discussed will be personnel matters. The justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel. I assume that's what it is for. The open meeting will resume in this room at
I'll say 5 minutes here, just gonna let her if she gets here.
I will say time at 10,
Well, it's 10:41 right now.
10:46.
Well, you gotta wait till she gets here before you can start it. You sure she's on her way?
She wearing her quiet shoes.
She
Shut her door.
She shut her door.
her door.
Hey, when she comes in, everybody look up, right there. It'll be fun, just look right up there and she'll walk in. What are you, 12? It's,
Sorry, I
oh,
dropped my
wow.
phone. He called and I dropped it. Sorry.
All right, we'll reconvene back in this room at, what are we saying, 10:47. All in favor? Aye.
Push that? Push that?
Tell her I said that.
I will.
Anything else, Heather? You guys have anything?
You can tell her we're gonna have to have on the board.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. Okay,
Thank you.
that's all I have.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
No action taken.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See,
Bye.
Merry Christmas, guys.
I guess you're up next, aren't you?
No, okay. I do not have a ton, I do have some. And I do have an executive session for later, and Shawna is gonna stay.
If I have something about something, we're gonna do too.
Okay,
We will have,
we will have, okay. We put some real stuff.
one meeting peanut.
Snap.
For the long haul.
Get you a Snickers. Man, I don't have my phone with me, okay.
Earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was.
Excavator.
Yeah.
What do you say?
They're taking that excavator back in January 17th. Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Okay, I have personnel status forms for you all to sign. We have resignation in EMS. I mean, was a part-time person who just went full-time and now is going back to possibly PRN. They're relocating. She and her husband are. She will be in the area for a class here and there, so she might be able to stay on PRN, which would be nice.
I can't remember mine.
I don't know, Brian, are you doing this?
Me?
I don't
Sure
know.
it is. Oh, that's kind of weird, I can hear. Shut that, okay.
You got something too?
Hmm?
Is that us?
Yeah. There was. I
Watching
heard-
us and talking at the same
Good
time?
job, yes. Okay, then two other new hires. We have two new hires in the detention center, which is
Great.
great, yeah, so we can keep them. That poor department has a hard time. Okay, evaluations are still trickling in. I've added them to the spreadsheet, which we'll look at in a little bit. But if you'll review these quick, two of them are small, they're health department. I think I put these on your email. And then there are two from the attorney's office, just to take a peek at and sign off on as the commission. We still haven't heard back from KK yet on our risk avoidance grant for the cameras. I do anticipate they'll approve it though, and she said it would be fine. I really don't have a lot. I do have my travel request for the Kansas SHRM meeting next year. Question for y'all. Because of all of the print ads we've run this year, I am potentially over budget. There's an early bird special to get.
That's why your department's over.
We tried to
That
figure
is
out
why
how to
I'm
do it.
$600 over already because of, we're putting them in the.
Which shows a huge percentage in your budget.
Yeah, it does, because mine's not very big. But, so I do have some questions about that. I have, would you consider, I mean, it's probably too late for next year, but maybe for 2023, could we pass some of that expense back to the departments?
I think we should.
Well, shouldn't
I think that, I don't know why it hasn't.
Mhm.
And is there a reason why, I guess because you're HR and that's what HR does.
I suppose so, and that's fine, but we had a lot of, our print ad expense went way up this year, and I wasn't anticipating that. So my question for you is, there is a $50 early bird special for this thing I'm going to, but we'd have to use general fund budget dollars to pay for it, to get the early bird bonus or the early bird reduction, or I can wait until after January 1st and pay for it out of my budget. I mean, it's the $50 thoughts. I talked to Linda about it, I'm like, what are my options?
And what's the class again?
So it is the Kansas SHRM Employment Law and Employee Benefit, of course. It's 2 days into the
Which I do
weekend.
think is very important for you.
It's a great,
Why
that's
couldn't
nothing.
you, why couldn't you do the early bird?
Well, I don't have the money in
She
my
don't
budget
have
to
money in her
do it,
budget.
because I'll be over, but I'm in the general fund, so it'll, thank you.
I don't see that being a problem.
But I didn't want to do that, go over without talking to y'all about it first.
I don't see a problem with it either.
I mean, we would say $50.
Okay. That's
If you're
okay.
gonna go to it anyway, you just will save the $50.
Yeah.
So that's kind of,
Okay, thank you. It's a great class. Our Sherman lobbyist comes, she gets lawmakers to come and talk to us about the different things that are going on in employment law. Forest Roads will be there from Folston.
Did I look at that? Or, yeah.
Did you look at
I
that?
think I did. No,
Something to think about while you guys are looking at that. This was just on my list. It's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and the different departments have asked about it. Our 24-hour departments would like to look at maybe tweaking the PTO policy a little bit. Basically what they're asking for is to consider, right now the way the policy is you can get paid up to 80 hours for a pay period. PTO is supposed to be income replacement if you're not able to be there or if you want to take a vacation, and our 24-hour departments have built-in overtime. So only allowing them 80 hours per pay period is kind of shorting them, and it's not really encouraging them to use their PTO. Most of those departments are able to swap around anyway.
Yeah.
But one thing that was brought up was, what if we said, okay, if this department always gets 86 hours a pay period, or if they average 85 hours a pay period, if we allow them to, it wouldn't be paid at the overtime rate, it would just be regular pay, but it would help a little bit as far as getting them close to what they would be making if they were here for that pay period. I don't know, it's not something to think about today, but just to maybe put on your radar. I do kind of see the need to maybe do something different for those departments than we do for our Monday through Friday 8 to 5 folks.
Yeah, it's a little bit different situation for them.
It is a little bit, and if they're used to getting, 8 hours of overtime every pay period, that makes an impact to their paycheck if they're only getting 80 regular hours. Did you see those?
Mm-hmm.
So just something to maybe put on your radar to talk about at the beginning of next year when we start.
no.
We didn't see that again. And she does want us to start signing those, even though that's from an elected.
Yes, please. Just because we're doing the merit-based increase on
This
them,
is
this
the
way it shows
courthouse
you've
guy.
seen it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, that falls in the courthouse plans. Kind of.
There's no,
Catch up. Amy, the one thing I wanted to ask you about is on that hazard pay.
Yes?
I guess I didn't realize that their benefits, we had to pay for those, and it didn't come out of that
Right.
money from the federal government.
Yep. The only benefits that came out of that was capers, and they pay their portion, we pay our portion.
Which is a total of how much again?
I can tell you about here.
Did you know that?
nope.
Did you, Jeff?
What's that? I wouldn't listen.
That the hazard pay stuff, the county's responsible for the benefits for the hazard pay.
Right.
So that grant paid for the,
You should see the separation on your benefits page that you guys approved earlier.
right, that was on that deal that we come through that I was saying, hey, we've already paid this deal, and then,
It separates out the two different banks.
yeah. So that's why it was separate, that's why I want to ask that, so.
I can pull them, I don't have them on my sheet right here.
It's kind of significant, it's not.
It is, health and then also the first responders. No, and Shonda and I visited with Melinda about that. That ARPA money is
Did you see that? Yeah, you-
different.
Yeah, it is. Did you know that that was gonna be, didn't?
I did not know we couldn't pay that out of there until after it had already been done.
It kind of hit you too, about the same time.
But this is for your chairman.
Yes. Thank you.
That's pretty.
And then the next thing I have an executive session for non-elected. And probably, I'll just do 30 minutes. Maybe we'll get out early.
We won't.
What do you want me to sign that?
So those benefits, Amy, that
That one?
Yes.
line item on the budget,
Yes,
will that cause us problems?
I'll look and find out.
Or a nutshell, I don't know.
You want me to
Say
say
it could possibly.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I'll pull those, I should have had those for today, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't even think about that being a deal. Okay, so Amy's asking for a executive session, who wants to make that motion?
So moved.
Jeff made the motion to go into executive session, the subject to be discussed will be personnel matters. Justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters and non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume in this room at, let's just go 11:30. All in favor? Aye.
You wanna do money stuff first and keep Shonda in here first and then go
Sure.
to disciplinary?
Yep.
Yes, spreadsheet. Josh is making it.
you want me to shut the TV off?
Well, do you have his, I just want to be able to unhook mine.
I don't have Nolan's.
Cause I unhooked
Do you have Josh's number?
Oh, no, I don't know. I have his.
I got road and bridge.
Oh, right here. Isn't it?
I got road and bridge, I don't have his.
Disconnect. Oh,
Yeah, there's a disconnect button.
We don't need, you gonna sign up for IT?
no,
Amy, are you good?
I think so.
No action taken in that executive session.
Thank you guys, Friday night was a lot of fun. I think people had a good time and enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
thanks for doing that.
Next
Thank
year,
you,
since
Shonda,
we-
for having that.
since we cut our budget so much, we're gonna have to look into
I'm already, Todd and I talked about it. I'm just, I don't know about anybody else, but all that needs to be.
Yeah, well, maybe we can.
I got a couple of cookers and some Dutch ovens.
And we talked, we'll start thinking about it in October. This year was a weird year. Usually we're way ahead of it, so.
But I got Dutch ovens, we need some Dutch ovens and that.
Ooh, yeah, that would be it.
I don't know, I push buttons.
So then we can get the smoker fired up.
I got it here.
Maybe take a nap.
And I just shut it off because I didn't know which button to
Yeah,
push.
nah, we'll figure it out next year. Okay, let's, we have, before we get out of here, guys, I'm sorry, but we gotta cover these December 6th meetings, or December 6th minutes. Kelsey, the first thing I see is where it says Christine Citron, dispatch and emergency manager, it says presented the fully planned maintenance. That's not what it was the fully maintenance plan. And then it says discuss ARPA funds for dispatch. Or it says, and, I guess she did not present the ARP funds for dispatch. She was asking or requesting.
Get fun.
Right. So she didn't present that.
She's asking for the.
The next thing I saw was back on the last page, the board discussed the floodplain administrator. I think that was, who came in with that? Do you remember who? That wasn't just by itself, the board discussed the floodplain administrator.
No, it came in the red binder, but you guys held off until the end
So there
to
was
decide who was gonna take it over for, the last, till we can find somebody more permanent. Or,
Okay, so maybe we put in there instead of just the floodplain administrator, the appointment of the new floodplain administrator, maybe.
Okay.
So it says, so, because I won't understand that. You guys good with those? Any other things? We'll look at them.
Who brought that up?
Well, that's what I was trying to remember. It was just in the folder because there was a water well request.
Shonda brought it up.
Yes, right, I put it in the folder, yes.
She brought it up because, Linda's not here, so we had to have somebody approve it. And since we're talking about that, did that get approved? Does anybody know that?
Yeah, I know Mike came down and visited with Linda last week when she
Okay.
was here.
We left it with Mike till we
Right,
yeah.
take it over, yeah.
And I don't think we've heard anything about changing that yet either. have
No, we probably need to get that on the,
Yeah,
we?
visit
Yeah,
about that,
I'll think about that.
To visit with her.
the floodplain,
No green down,
Okay.
right?
we got a few minutes.
Is that what you're talking about, the floodplain deal? Yeah,
Yeah, we probably need to get Matt.
yeah. Yeah, Matt.
You might give Matt a ring real quick and see if he can come down just for a little bit.
And did you guys look at the, what you also?
Yeah, I'll look at those.
Can
Okay.
we just put him on next time?
This will be done, but nobody is, that's all right here, he's in here. Because if he's not interested, then we need
Find somebody else.
to do something. It says 60 days right here. Floodplain administrator for.
Are you finished? He's looking at the December 6th. Do you want me to go ahead on the 14th and make corrections?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so on the December 14th corrections, the first one is Matt Booker, appraiser, provided explanation of addition and abatements. I would like to have something in there about tabled until next week to break them apart to the individual categories. Are you guys okay
Yes.
with that? You okay with that?
Mhm.
The next one is where it says Commissioner Vornoff motion to approve waiving the fee for trenching due to ag use. I'd like to have that waive the fee for, rural water.
Do we need to have you in there was for?
No,
Well, the road,
Well, the address maybe.
You need to have, where it's at. I mean,
I
something
don't
like
think
that.
we put the name in there, do
Well, we did talk about because there were two on that one. That was the one where the Cody boys, if I remember right, come in.
Each
and
area. Yeah.
So I do think Darren's right on that. We probably ought to have the location on those.
But not.
No, just location.
Yeah.
Location, and it needs to say for rural water,
Cause
to trench rural water lines through the road.
Because if they ever have something happen, they go back and minutes to see where the
That's why it's there.
Yeah.
So I do think that needs to be changed to that.
Okay.
Did you get all them, Shannon?
He's at lunch.
That's why. Can you say more, Jennifer, next week
Yep.
for floodplain conversation?
Next one, where it says Amy Delasarda, HR, it says something, it says approved personnel status forms for EMS. So two things in there, I don't know what that means, approved personnel status forms,
That
And
was
then-
supposed to be approved.
and then EMS should be capitalized, the initials just like it is above there. And same in that same paragraph, after termination notice, there's a period. And then it says retiree gift for Bob and termination. But retiree is not capitalized, and that sentence does not make sense to me.
Okay.
Termination for what?
His
Oh,
termination
no.
notice.
Okay.
I'll just put for his termination notice.
ARPA, all those are supposed to be capitalized.
Okay.
Did we get you a credit card, Sean? Did we prove that last week?
Yes.
Oh, and I did talk to Melinda a little bit about that credit card thing. She would like to keep a hold of hers, for the tax sale, if she does have expenses and stuff. Since she still is an employee doing some stuff, she'd like to have access to that.
Does that have a limit on it?
Hers does, yeah. I don't know what it is on those. I was
$1,000.
gonna say $1,000. I think there's one road and bridge, wasn't it like $5,000 or $10,000? Can't remember. It's a little higher than the rest of them.
Where you at on that? I mean, first page.
1042,
No,
no,
second
on the
page.
second page. There's one, I gotta remember back when, didn't we go on a break? It says Commissioner Stewart motion to sign, no?
I'm sure we had a break in there somewhere.
Yeah,
It's on page 2 at the top.
Yeah, at the top, about the recess anyway.
okay, so then, yeah, that's the one, I forgot that one. So it says he motioned to recess the meeting, but then there was never a motion to reconvene. So that needs to be included in there as well.
Even if you didn't make a motion?
Says Commissioner Strubel motion to recess the meeting approved unanimously. And then right after that, it just says Kelsey Murphy, County Clerk, had interview procedure. So there should be a motion to reconvene.
Okay, I'll check that out
And
again.
Brian's usually the one that does it, right?
I
mean,
entertain
typically-
a motion to reconvene a lot of times. I think that's all I said. You got it, Ethan? My son was trying to tell me that,
What's the iodine clover? What was that about?
I think that's the new name that he's got.
Is the clover the name of it?
I think.
Anyway, my son was telling me that when you double space after a period now, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
whatever, son. Because no, they did that back when typewriters, everybody's learning to run on typewriter, they had to do that because it made a clear space in between there. He said, now, that's not recommended anymore. I said, well, I think my phone does it automatically, doesn't it? When you double tap or the space bar. Maybe it's only single space. I don't know. He was trying to tell me that that's not.
Word now will tell you, it'll.
He
it'll
said
give you the
that.
lines underneath an arrow.
Yeah, he said it will tell you an error if you've got a double space.
Well, obviously, not everybody's figured that out, because I still get a lot of stuff that has double space, and I have to take them all out, because AP styles with one space
Yep.
forever.
But that's how we were taught though, Jason. I mean, that's how I still do it.
Oh, I guess, I also taught to you.
So it's hard to know when you're doing that not to double tap. I don't know. Crazy teachers. And see, the first semester we were on typewriters. The second semester is when they started getting computers. And so then they taught us keyboard in the second semester. That's how we did it.
Okay.
Give us that.
Yeah.
There you go.
You go to or you supposed to?
Which she's gonna make corrections on, yeah.
They'll be in the next one, the French ones.
All right, anybody else? Jeff, you finished? Derek?
I'm finished.
We're gonna get out before noon, Jeff.
Wow, weird.
Hey, all right, we're adjourned. Thanks, guys. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
You knew I was gonna look at
You
it.
guys have Merry Christmas?
I was kidding. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Yeah.
I love you, Derek.
It'll be a big old
Hey,
hug again.
you should feel good. I mean, I agree with you a couple times today.
That is, it is gonna snow or something.
Well, if that makes it snow, we probably have to keep
Got that
doing
big
it.
old hug from
Yeah, I'm not, I don't care for any drought. I'm not kissing any,
Come on, Jeff, take one for the team.
Sacrifice.
Good, take one for the team.
See ya.
Thanks, Jason. Merry Christmas.
Don't forget to put your time card up there.
Look at this burn.
Wow, this is amazing. Good day, all in all.
Yeah. Seemed like you guys have been on for a year yet.
It's went by pretty
It
fast.
really has
Pretty
gone by
quick.
pretty fast.
See, it's not that bad, is it?
Oh, no, at times.
There's a few intense moments.
Somebody got the chicken too. This will be the election year for somebody.
It's next year, yeah.
And, yeah, but running this year, right?
See you, Kelsey. Thank you.
See ya, have a good one.
Got the banners all set up?
I'm about to go home and do chores, so.
Yeah. Swear. Hopefully everything's still in place when I get there.
Yeah.
That was a shocker yesterday morning. I'm coming around the shed and I start seeing these calves walking across the driveway and off the road and running around. I'm like, God, I hope those are Roger Drew, not mine. I got closer and closer. I was like,